give you the facts because we want you to be better informed and inspired to help make this a better United States of America. In the spotlight today, in the news, President Trump, Representative Devin Nunes, White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer, and on a positive note, Nikki Haley, our representative / ambassador to the United Nations. First, news nugget. President Trump signed a wide-ranging executive order to start the process of rolling back President Obama's aggressive climate change agenda.
Perhaps no single regulation threatens our miners, energy workers, and companies more than this crushing attack on American industry.
He went on to say this is another step toward fulfilling his promises to the nation.
My action today is the latest in a series of steps to create American jobs and to grow American wealth. We're ending the theft of American prosperity and rebuilding our beloved country.
Now, of course, the liberals' heads are on fire because they think that this is the beginning of the end of the world. Michael Moore, Van Jones, saying that this is atrocious. Well, see, here are a few facts that the Obama administration and the liberals didn't tell you while they were ramming their regulatory assault on coal and other industries. We reported on this last week. According to a report that just came out from the International Energy Agency, even without the Paris Climate Agreement, worldwide carbon dioxide emissions stayed flat last year for the third year in a row, as the global economy grew at about 3.1%. So the world is not about to end because President Trump is taking this burden off the backs of the coal industry. In other words, folks, there isn't a climate change crisis to begin with. So why penalize entire industries and why penalize good jobs that people need? News nugget. Representative Devin Nunes. He was asked if he'll recuse himself from the Russia probe.
Are you going to stay as chairman and run this investigation?
Well, why would I not?
And it goes on to say that Democratic calls for him to recuse himself from the Russia probe are just a lot of politics.
You got to go talk to them. That sounds like their problem. I don't have, my colleagues are perfectly fine. I mean, they know we're doing an investigation and that will continue.
And Paul Ryan was asked if Nunes should recuse himself and if he knows the source of Nunes' information about surveillance on Trump associates.
No and no.
What part of no don't they understand? The N or the O? You see, folks, this is another typical Democrat distraction. There's been no new information about this Russian connection stuff. Now, because Devin Nunes is doing his job and somebody wanted to give him some intelligence information, all of a sudden, because he didn't tell his co-chair, or he didn't tell the ranking Democrat ahead of time before he told the president, they think that's a big deal and he ought to recuse himself. In fact, Nancy Pelosi thinks he ought to step down. That is absolutely crazy. Folks, don't be fooled by the distraction tactics of the Democrats, because that's all this is. They don't like the fact that he got information that said that, in fact, the Trump Tower was being bugged. They don't like that because it goes against their narrative that no such thing ever happened. News nugget. Some people call it fake news. Some people call it false. I call it a lie. In a new flare-up, the Washington Post, remember that's the same newspaper that hired a whole bunch of reporters to try to take down Trump during the presidential election. The Washington Post reported that the White House had attempted to block Sally Yates, who was fired by President Trump as acting attorney general in January, from appearing before a congressional committee to testify about Russia. White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer says the administration did nothing to block former Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates from testifying.
To suggest in any way, shape, or form that we stood in the way of that is 100% false.
False. They just make this stuff up. Here again, the old adage, they're looking for molehills to turn into mountains. There's no there there. Sean Spicer, I love this response he gave to a reporter. He goes on to get back to the Russia thing. They keep talking about Russia. There's no there there, but they keep bringing it up. Sean Spicer says reporters are too quick to denounce the Trump administration for having ties to Russia.
I've said it from the day that I got here.
All right, this is a minute long, so I'll tell you 10 seconds
You've got
out.
Russia.
Okay.
If the president puts Russian salad dressing on his salad tonight, somehow that's a Russian connection. But every single person... No, that's. I appreciate your agenda here, but the reality is, hold on. No, at some point, report the facts. The facts are that every single person who has been briefed on this subject has come away with the same conclusion: Republican, Democrat. So I'm sorry that disgusts you. You're shaking your head. I appreciate it, but understand this: that at some point, the facts are what they are, and every single person who has been briefed on this situation, with respect to the situation with Russia, Republican, Democrat, Obama appointee, career, have all come to the same conclusion. At some point, April, you're going to have to take no for an answer with respect to whether or not there was collusion.
It's almost hilarious, folks. It's like they keep asking the same question. They continue to get the same answer. And there has been no new news from this whole Russian connection thing, and they keep asking the same question because they are trying to make it fit their narrative, and there's no there. It's just another distraction, folks. Another distraction. News nugget. Obamacare. Approximately 6.5 million taxpayers paid $3 billion in Obamacare penalties for not having health insurance in 2016. This is according to a preliminary data from the Internal Revenue Service Commissioner, John Koskinen. You see, there were 117 million tax returns of individuals who had qualifying health care coverage all year. You see, most of those were people who had insurance through their companies. Yeah, they had it through their companies, and some of the companies had to pass some of the costs on to their employees. But now, this year, the IRS is easing requirements for Obamacare's individual mandate because of President Trump's executive order requiring that federal agencies reduce the burden of Obamacare. Remember, we talked about that. And we've been talking about the fact that they aren't going to ask you to prove that you have health insurance again. That is a good thing, folks. And you see, he's able to do this with an executive order. And just so people will be clear as to where the whole legislative push stands, Paul Ryan says the GOP will regroup and revisit fixing health care.
We are all going to work together and listen together until we get this right. It is just too important. Obamacare is a collapsing law. Obamacare is doing too much damage to families. And so we're going to get this right. And in the meantime, we're going to do all of our other work that we came here to do.
And Representative Ryan goes on to say that the GOP knows it needs to get better at leading and communicating.
As I said on Friday, we all have to reflect on what we could have done better. And this discussion was an honest and very constructive step forward. We are united around a common set of principles. We are united around our agenda.
They're just not united around how to get there. That's all. So the good news here, folks, is they're still going to continue to work on this. And in the middle of this, just so people can keep this in perspective, I have a breaking news announcement. It took the Obama administration and the Democrats 15 months to get it wrong and shove it down our throats. The Republicans have been at this for 68 days. Take a chill pill. The good news is they're not going to walk away from it. It's still something they're going to continue to work on to get it right. And oh, by the way, the Democrats wanted to pass it and then tell you what's in it. Well, the Republicans are taking the approach of, we're going to tell you what's in it. We're going to debate it before we pass it. What a novel idea. It's called transparency, real transparency. News nugget. Another missile test. 2 U.S. defense officials say that North Korea conducted another ballistic missile engine test. The officials said the latest engine trial is the 3rd such test in recent weeks using similar technology. In other words, folks, they are going to keep testing this until they can hurt somebody. This is why I am glad that our American UN ambassador, Nikki Haley, says that the world is too dangerous for a nuclear weapons ban.
One day we will hope that we're standing here saying we no longer need nuclear weapons. But today, in this day and time, in the situations that we're in, we unfortunately don't have the ability to do that.
And she went on to say that rogue states such as North Korea would take advantage of a General Assembly nuclear weapons ban.
So what you would see is the General Assembly would go through in good faith trying to do something, but North Korea would be the one cheering, and all of us and the people we represent would be the ones at risk.
In other words, Nikki Haley, the American UN ambassador, is saying the United States is not going to be a sucker and allow the rogue states to run wild. When I come back, the latest on enforcing the laws via Attorney General Jeff Sessions. You're listening to The Herman Cain Show.
Delivering trusted solutions for a better America.
He's telling America what we need to hear and helping to activate everyone in the right direction.
Herman Cain.
All right.
Well done.
Thank you.
All right, I got Van Jones's tweet is up on your prompter.
Okay. I'll come back to that when we get ready to go into rapid fire.
Yeah, and give out the number, too. That way Jared can get some peeps.
Okay. Just signed a death warrant for planet Earth.
Who? Van Jones?
Van Jones said that.
Oh, he's stupid.
Yeah. He's an example of he thinks freedom of speech means freedom to be stupid.
Yeah, right.
2 examples. Those are the 2 I'm going to give. Van Jones and Michael Moore.
Trump single-handedly is going to kill planet Earth. Got it. Yeah, good. All right.
Well, he's obsessed with Superman all over his Twitter page here. You know what? It might be something fun to mention.
Van Jones?
Yeah, he's got a picture of him in a suit, and then a picture of him as a Superman in a Superman
Lord.
costume. And then, like, he keeps on referring to Donald Trump as Lex Luthor throughout a lot of his tweets.
Jeez. Crazy guy.
It's called They Have Nothing Else to Talk About.
Yeah. Van Jones is that weirdo with glasses on CNN, right?
Yeah. He's got a CNN gig. He is a flaming liberal. I think he's almost a communist.
Death warrant for planet Earth.
Yeah, that was Van Jones's one. You're still looking for Michael Moore's, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good job. We got him in.
Oh, this one? Historians in the near future will mark today, March 28th, 2017, as the day the extinction of human life on Earth began, thanks to Donald Trump.
Oh, God.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Wow.
Oh, we're going to have a little fun with that. That's why I wanted him to find those. Let me get this straight. Since the beginning of time, when man didn't have many of the conveniences he has today, didn't he survive? Haven't we been on this planet thousands of years? Oh.
Not those Republicans, but everybody else.
All right, 2.5 minutes.
Okay, I'm going to use these two quotes leading into rapid fire.
Okay, yeah, so right now you tease Jeff Sessions, yeah? Okay.
Right now I'm going to do the Jeff Sessions.
Jared, you lost your one caller. Poor little caller. I want so bad to talk to Herman.
I wish we could record.
Wish we could what?
Your discussion yesterday with, I don't even know the name, the person who changes his name every time he calls.
Buck, Billy, Ed, Andrew. Not quite sure who he is.
That was funny. I'm sorry. At your expense, I had a good laugh.
Lost my mind. What makes me mad is not so much like I can take them being mean and like telling me I do a bad job and stuff, but I can't take them talking over me and at least giving me the chance to explain myself. But then again, I shouldn't have to explain myself to them.
That's what liberals do. Haven't you noticed?
Yeah. Like I even said, why don't you come in here and do my job?
Their tactic is talk over you when you're trying to make a point.
Yeah, that's it. And you just get so flustered by it that they usually win. I hung up on him, so.
Yeah, I get some callers like that sometimes, and I say, you got a choice. I'm going to cut you off if you don't let me talk. And respond. They ask you a question, and so you don't get a chance to answer it, they talk over you. As if they don't want people to hear you.
But that's their tactic to ask a question. But why are they even wasting everyone's time asking the question when you know they don't want to hear the answer?
Right.
They already have the answer in their head.
Well, it's because again, guys, we support the party that's going to lead to the extinction of mankind.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that we need to let those people through because they clearly need to be able to talk over us because they know what they're talking about.
Yes, they do. They all have science degrees.
Don't.
All right, 30 seconds. Nan Orrock. I'm Nan Orrock.
I doubt it.
All right, here we go.
Government.org.
I'll go get mine after this break.
There's no sound bites that go along with this Jeff Sessions thing coming up, right?
Correct.
All right, anytime.
Welcome back to the Herman Cain Show. Thank you for joining us. Coming up, Rapid Fire at 877-310-2100. Rapid Fire coming up at the bottom of the hour. In the meantime, News Nugget. Attorney General Jeff Sessions again threatens to defund sanctuary cities. That's what a Democrat representative says, and that he's putting a gun to the head of Americans. This is a quote from Attorney General Sessions. I urge the nation's states and cities to carefully consider the harm they are doing to their citizens by refusing to enforce our immigration laws. End quote. In other words, if your city is openly defying federal immigration law, it's risking the elimination of all the sweet, sweet taxpayer cash that floods into its social program food trough. This, to most people, sounds perfectly sane. It was front and center during the 2016 campaign, and it enjoys widespread support outside of Hillary strongholds like New York and Los Angeles. But unfortunately, sanity is not a hallmark of the Democrat Party these days. I know some of you all are diehard Democrats. I don't mean to offend you, but your leaders are not showing sanity. All they want to do, the Republicans, is enforce the laws and keep illegals out of the country. And if they're going to dig in their heels and they're going to continue to be a sanctuary city, they can say bye-bye to some of the cash flowing out of D.C. I think that's good leverage. You're listening to the Herman Cain Show. Coming up, rapid fire at 877-310-2100.
Man, do I love card night. You ready, boys?
Do I love
You got
card
King?
night.
It sounds like Shaq, but I don't think it is.
No, that's not Shaq.
He is funny. During the March Madness stuff, do you see all the commercials with him?
Yeah, I saw some of those commercials.
And Spike Lee and Samuel L. Jackson. Oh my
those
God,
are
it's
funny.
hilarious.
Those
Our
are
favorite
funny.
one is where, Charles Barkley has the hoodie on backwards and he's eating popcorn out of it. Oh my God, so funny.
Those three guys are like the Three Stooges.
Yeah, they have a
They don't-
blast
they
together.
don't have to. They're just being themselves.
Yeah,
And
and
it's
they had
funny.
commercials last year too. This is the second or third year they've done that. They're great together. Isn't it? Yeah, Spike Lee, Charles Barkley, and Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Hilarious. Okay.
All the way off in the background, Bill. Don't put me on the speakers, but it'll probably get to you pretty quickly here, okay? And just get right to your question when he takes you on the air, okay? All right? Oh, no speaker. Just put me on the
Herman
headset,
Cain
okay?
Show, please hold.
Just keep me on your
Herman
headset.
Cain
No
Show,
speaker
please
phone,
hold.
Okay, all right. Stand by,
Herman
buddy.
Cain Show, please hold.
Thanks for rolling the Herman Cain Show. What do you want to say to him?
Can't get enough of you, baby. Can't get enough of you, girl.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, what's your name, buddy? I don't have to. Okay.
Be back in a minute.
Not a bad idea, man.
Sorry to cut you off, but it allows us to do it in segments.
I love